Welcome to, I guess, the first real official live workshop. This will be titled Tech Sales Thursdays. I realize today is not Thursday, but that's okay. I'm excited and I want to get started, so I'll start today on Wednesday because when I got into the new year, I said I'm going to start doing live streams, and I picked today as the day. And I would have felt like a loser if I postponed it till tomorrow. Could have done Wealth Wednesdays, but I felt like Tech Sales Thursdays work better. So rather than wait till tomorrow, I'm doing it today. Now, you know, if you're joining me, this is going to be an off the cuff format until we kind of pick a format that works. But the concept is supposed to be the following: come on live at 12:30 on well today, but on Thursdays, and for 30 minutes you've got me. My plan was to teach a concept or a topic that is in my book, So Rich You Can Quit, which is sort of over my shoulder over there. And then of course make myself available to answer any questions that you've got around investing, about real estate, tech sales, and from time to time we'll have guests come on to the live stream here. One of my favorite guests, of course, is my buddy Rob. Rob is a CPA, and he and I get along really well because we both principally, I guess, agree with the philosophy. It's a lot of words there. Of how investing in real estate and saving taxes, especially if you're a high income earner in tech sales, it just makes a lot of sense. So excited to talk about that. In the meanwhile, give me a second here. I was trying to figure out to get my MacBook, oh, sorry, my iPad working, and the plan was to we just restarted here. The plan was to be able to go in and do some whiteboarding, digital whiteboarding, while I've got my things here. So let me get my screen set up here, and I'll tell you what we'll kind of cover. I've got a choice of some options. Now, if you are tuning in, and if you're not, you're watching this later on, that's fine too. Getting the hang of how to be able to interact with people when they ask live questions. So, in an ideal world, if this technology is working the way it's supposed to be working, you should be able to kind of tune into the live stream, answer and ask a question, and I should be able to see it. If I don't, I apologize. Just send me a DM, and we can kind of message that way until I work out the kinks and the bugs. So in the meanwhile, give me a second here because I can't do 8 things at once, despite what I think I can do. And let me see if I can get my screen sharing going here. Screen mirroring, let's do that. I'll tell you what, there is no real easy way. Yeah, there is no built-in easy way to make your iPad show up on your Mac and then take that screen and then share it with the world. You have to use a third-party app to do that. It's really, really dumb, but whatever. It is what it is. So, boring getting that going here. Oh, I just had it. Cool. Let me share my screen. Share it. Screen. Entire screen. Boom. And now you can see what my iPad looks like when I use it. And while I'm pulling that up, I will also pull up some pre-canned curriculum that I thought about sharing with you. So I guess we can start at the basics here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's start at the basics. So what does the basics mean? Well, the basics mean the following, right? So if you are a tech seller and you're crushing it in sales, the chances are you are facing one of a handful of challenges. And these challenges, I assume you've got them because they're things that I faced along the way. And I'll write that out for you. Let's see if we can get this working. Do my eraser. Erase. Wish the eraser was much bigger. There we go. Cool. So we're getting set up here. I love this. Let's see if we can turn this around. There we go. Awesome. Move the microphone, get comfortable here. All right, so we'll call it, kind of challenge number one is, if you're making some good money, and the more that you make, chances are you're going to be running into this, which is paying higher taxes. That's can be a demoralizing thing, and I can go into exactly why that is a problem. So, potential problem number one is you're paying a lot of money in taxes, and it only gets worse as you make more money. Potential problem number two is going to potentially be feeling, let's call it feeling stuck or golden. And I have this habit now that I've created where every time I do some kind of special cool thing on this screen, I have to make a sound effect. Thank you, Anthony, for that habit. So I'll do like, I don't know, it's kind of fun. I think it is. And if you judge me, you try it. You see how hard it is to not make a sound. So potential problem number 2 is, here, we'll do this. Title it. Tech, sales, pain points. Underline it. I was going to do, but I stopped myself. And then number 3, so the golden handcuffs, I didn't get into that. So golden handcuffs mean like you're making really good money and you're making such good money that it's really hard to start over and go somewhere else. And it becomes a problem if you've been doing sales for a long time or you've been working for an organization for a long time and you're ready for a change in your life, but you've created a lifestyle for yourself where the fear of the unknown and the fear of the impact or the hit your lifestyle will take as a result of pressing reset and starting somewhere else. It's still a problem, kind of sucks. So feeling stuck, golden handcuffs. And then, of course, there's this thing, burnout. And my buddy Brandon Fluharty talks about this a lot. Ian, too, a lot of guys, because it's a real thing. And I remember seeing a study. It was like Gartner did a study of tech sellers, and it was like 92% or 90% of tech sellers reported feeling burned out. And that's a real thing. You know, I know in 2024, 2025 now, it's 2025, mental wellness, mental health is really a real thing. And I think over the last, I don't know, 5-10 years, like it's come more to the forefront as my screen decided to disappear. See if I can rejoin that. If this is going to do this often, it's going to be hard to do this workshop here. Mental health, there we go. Yep, I know that. Thank you. Is really important because you can't be a good person if you are stressed beyond belief, if you're taking it out on your family, if you aren't sleeping right and your health becomes poor, all because of all of the grind and stress that we face as sellers. Like that's not a way to live a sustainable life. And then also, I think, you know, kind of adding number 4 here would be like feeling vulnerable. I can spell vulnerable right. Vulnerable to one income stream. So, for example, you know, you're hustling it in your sales job and you're making really good money and you're hustling so much that you have no time to do anything else. And you realize you become highly dependent on that sole income stream. And it's not good because you're creating a great life for yourself and your family, ideally. And where's the diversity? Where's the diversification, I should say, rather? You know, if you're in tech sales, you're familiar with perhaps fault domains and having a highly available environment. You know, you've got your main site, your production site, your DR site, disaster recovery location. Where is the disaster recovery location for your income? You probably don't have one. And if you do have one, that's great. If you don't have one, that is potentially a problem. That's what we kind of talk about. Any other pain points? These are probably the top 4. There's probably some other ones. Yeah, I think these are great. So let's talk about how to kind of solve some of these things. And before I do that, let's just see if anyone's joined the stream here. Don't know, can't tell. Chat, let me hop into LinkedIn. 1 second. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I am live. Cool. All right. Yeah, so we'll get into, that's pretty neat. Okay, get out of my head. So let's talk about how do we address some of these pain points, right? So let's do this one. Let's do paying high. Oh, I did that. There we go. How do we cover? Sorry, I'm on eraser and it's messing me up. There we go. Okay. Let's do blue and let's come over here. So higher taxes. So fundamentally, the problem with higher taxes is our tax system is sort of based on this graduated system where you got these brackets, right? And depending on how much you're earning, and I think a better way I can show you that is if I show you this really cool tool that I found, visualizing data. Hold on. Data. Can I have that? You know what? Maybe I will. Productivity. Hold on. have that there? No. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll pull up another time. Don't want to waste time. Well, yeah, I can do this. Trade tax brackets. There you go. Tax brackets visualized. Engaging data. Oh, good, I found it. Sweet. Here, I'll show you this. Come down here. Oh, I see what I got to do. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing. Switch screens. Screen, window. Did that work? Hey, that works. Sweet. All right. Yeah. So the way this works, it covers everything. No, don't want to do that. Yeah, I'll throw it over here. Okay. So the way this works from a income tax issue, oh sweet, Rob will join us, is the following. This is a really great website. It's called Engaging Data. I love how it's able to visualize boring things and put it in a really interesting visual way. I'm a visual guy. So let's just take, for example, you're a single earner and you're earning, I don't know, we'll call it $250,000 a year. And there goes my screen. Okay. And capital gain income. Actually, I'll back up for a second. So as I was kind of saying about the tax issues, the way the IRS structured the tax code is, and I don't doze off here because I'm talking about taxes and IRS. Keep it very simple. It's very interesting. When you earn income as a salesperson, you get a W-2. That income is categorized as regular, as wage income, as active income, as ordinary income, and it's all subject to kind of these same these tax brackets that are on there. And I'll show you the tax brackets real quick. So tax brackets. And the problem is, like, you pay taxes as you go up in the brackets, and there isn't really much that you can do to save on taxes. Yes, there are things you can put money away into your 401k or your IRA, and you have health qualified health plans that you can put money away tax-free and lower the amount of taxable income that you get. You could lease a car and write off your home office and subscriptions and membership dues and some other nonsense. The problem is it doesn't really move the needle. Excuse me. It might move the needle if you're, earning an income of under $100,000, right? And at that point, every couple of $1,000s makes a big deal. But if you're earning $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, lowering your taxable income at that point, $5,000, $4,000 isn't really going to make a difference for you. And so the name of the game is shifting how you earn income. This is what I learned when I was struggling with this and trying to figure out how do I escape these high taxes? How do I stop paying dearly out the nose every time I get a good commission check? And what I realized is that the problem is how I make money, how you make money. It's categorized as active income. So what's the solution? Well, the solution, glad I asked myself that, is to earn income in another way. And the way that you want to earn income is through passive income or capital gains. And capital gains can be earned through investing in real estate, or it can be earned through investing in, I should say, stock market, right? So when you're stock trading, if you're a day trader or you're playing with equities, and you get some appreciation there, you can, that income is taxed at a much, much lower rate. I'll show you that in a second here. So it would be basically from like 0 to 20% max versus 0 to 37% that we have for federal income rates when you're earning active ordinary income. So again, if you're earning from this to this, these are some of the rates that you're paying. So anyway, anything between, in my example, I was at 250, I think I gave you, right? So between 250, you're paying 35% tax. Well, on anything between 230 and 578, and you're paying 32% between anything between 182 and 131. So that looks like this. So here is your income. I'm going to get rid of your capital gain. We'll come back to that later on. There's your 250. And what that looks like is out of your gross income, you're paying, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and this will be bigger once you're beyond 250. If you're at 500, for example, and I know Ian likes helping people get to 500, and so does Marcus. That number gets even bigger. I mean, imagine getting paying 35% on anything above, what is that number? On anything above 231, right? And then it gets even higher after 578. So it just becomes like egregious, where $139,000 of your money is going out in taxes. That's just on the federal side. And there's still the state side and some other things there, right? And so this part sucks. Now, if you can start earning your income, comparatively speaking, I'll duplicate this. We come back to this. We'll go back to 250 for a second. And these before and afters, they make greater sense, or the impact of it, right? Like at this scale, like the taxes you're paying at 250 is $52,000, and that's cool and all. Like it's a lot of money. It's not that bad, but it gets worse. So again, when you go to 350, then it's 86,000. And when you go to 450, then it's 121. And if you're, God forbid, you're making 950, that's a lot of money right there. Hold on. Yeah. $300,000 going in taxes. Like that's $300,000, where a few years ago, like that was an incredible income for you. You've just now paid that in taxes. You might as well light it on fire, folks. It's doing nothing for you. And this is why, if I had my chart here, I could show it to you. This is why there's an element of feeling stuck, because you are stuck. Because the more that you make, the better your lifestyle that you're living, the more you've got to keep selling to make that money to maintain that lifestyle. And then there's this feeling of hopelessness because you've got golden handcuffs, and then you're feeling vulnerable to the single income stream, which is supporting your lifestyle, and it kind of goes into this really negative spiral, or it could be. So the way out of it, I preach and I talk about in my best-selling book, which, let me get a copy of it for you. So Rich, you can quit. I talk about my journey from tech sales, and that's the boring part, I guess. Maybe it's the inspiring part, I should say. But how you too can break free of that. Now, by the way, commercial alert here. If you are watching this live stream either live or you're watching the recording, I'm going to insert a special DM code. So if you DM me the words, "So Rich You Can Quit January," I will send you a free copy of the book. I'll sign it, and I'll even give you a special bonus on top of that. The bonus, I will tell you right now, is the Audible version. Let's do that instead. I'm going to change it up. So you send me a DM that says, "So Rich You Can Quit January." I will send you a redemption code that you can use on Spotify for the free audiobook version of my book. And I recorded it myself. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of fun, actually, too. And I talk really fast. So it was a lot of fun having to slow myself down to be able to do that. Anyway, cool. So where was I going with this? The book. Talk about the book. So in the book, I talk about how you shift this. And so the name of the game is to shift from earning your money through ordinary income, which is taxed at these rates, instead to go to this one. You want to go to that would be capital gains tax rate, which is this. One of these is fine, or wallet's fine. Boom, boom, boom. So before I get into capital gains, let me explain a couple of things. There's two parts. There's a short-term and long-term. For any of the stuff that I talk about, the type of investing in real estate that I talk about, this isn't short-term, buy a single-family house, work on the nights and weekends and improve it and fix it up and then throw it on the market and sell it. I know many people can be successful at doing that. It's not what I talk about, because it's active investing and you're basically trading one job for another one. And that's fine if you want to do that. I advocate instead, if you're really good at sales, do sales, sell, make good money, and instead invest passively into the project. So most of the projects I'm talking about here are long-term, anything over 12 months. Anything shorter than 12 months is short-term, longer than 12 months, long-term. You learned something today. And so these are the rates for tax rates. They vary based on how you're filing, married, filing separately or jointly or whatever else. By the way, quick aside, just make a note here. If you're glossing over, because I'm talking about the various brackets of income tax, I've been there. When I came to the realization that I needed to learn and become equipped and understand these concepts so that I can explain it to people that join my Tech Sales Investor Club, I went in like, I don't want to do this. because who the hell wants to learn about tax law? I don't. Rob does. And so so I hear you if you feel like I'm going, but I'm not going to go that deep. Surface level, give you exactly what you need to know and nothing more. Well, maybe a little bit more, whatever. So tax rates. So we go from 0, depending on how much, what your tax bracket is, right? Up to 20%. And that's very different from, 0 to 37%. So it is graduated based on the income that you're coming in, and that's the tax you're going to pay. So if you're a high earner, chances are you're going to be paying between 15 and 20% on the money that you make through capital gains, the passive income that you make. So right there, this is the point I want to illustrate. Like this is a underscore highlight is the potential taxes that you pay on the money that you earn through passive income is taxed potentially, what is that, 50% less at most than what you'd be paying on money that you actively have to work to earn. When you're closing deals, you're trading your time for money, you're doing that. Now, granted, the money that you're getting for trading your time is really, really good, but at some point, you might want to stop doing that. And the way out of that is to start making money through capital gains. So let's look at the impact here on this here. So we'll go back to, making 250, 0% capital gains. All right, so we're at 52,264 in taxes. Now let's switch that. Duplicate that. Got 8 minutes left here on the live stream. If you're watching this, I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's go back to 250. Well, what happens here? So the point I'm trying to illustrate here is that if we start shifting our income, and in the beginning, it's not going to look like this. It's not going to look like you're going to now make less money in your regular income. You're going to start making money through capital gains. So let's just show that. 250, 1, 2, 3. And then capital gains income, that is going to, let's just say you make, what's a good example? People ask me all the time, hey, JP, I invest in your deals. How much money am I going to get? Well, first, I only work with accredited investors. This is not a solicitation, so I'm not doing any of that stuff, doing some covering my butt here. But typically I tell people, on average, we try to look at deals that are returning, call it 15 to 18% average annual return. That's a nice, good industry standard for these type of deals. It's better than the stock market. You get cash flow potentially, and of course you get appreciation, and you get a bunch of cool tax benefits, cool taxy things that you can do to shelter that money and lower the amount that you're exposed to paying, which is really cool. So with that said, let's say you're making, put 100 grand into a deal at 15%. That would be $15,000 a year on average. Just picking a number here. This is 10,000. So let's make that 15,000. All right. So you went from 52, I think the number was. Yeah, 52, adding to $54,000. And this is the capital gains element here, this orange bar. It's not over here because there's no capital gains coming in. Now there is a capital gains. Now, let's say that goes up. You're still making your 250 and you got, you got 2 investments now going on, $200,000 a year. So that becomes, $30,000, $30,000 of passive income. All right, that's going up. Notice how small this line of taxes is. What happens if you have a good year? And that's $50,000. Gets a little bigger, but now you've, kind of made 50 and you're paid. Is there a number there? You're paying $7,500 on that money. What would that look like if you made $50,000 on that money? It's going to be small because the taxes on that are, they're relatively small. So that's a bad example. Let's go back to our 250 number. But now let's say, you're investing, and none of the things I talk about are get rich quick. These are not like overnight tomorrow, suddenly, boom, you're so rich you can quit tomorrow. You're so rich you can quit over the course of, 5, 6, 7, 10 years. Depends on how much you invest and how frequently you're investing. Like the velocity of money is really important there. So let's say you get to a point where you're now making 100 grand annually, put $100,000 in there, right? And so out of $100,000, you're paying 15 grand in taxes, and maybe this starts getting smaller for you because you're not making as much money. Ideally, we want to get to a point where you're no longer working in sales, right? Maybe you're making $0 in regular wage income, and instead you're making, $250,000 or more. That's 2.5 million. Sorry, I went way more. So your tax rate on this money uh, is, where am I showing this the right way? Taxes. Ah, upside down. It flipped over. You're paying 27,000 in taxes on that 250 of income, of passive income, versus uh, $52,000 on taxes. So 29 versus 52, or 27, yeah, versus 52. Big difference. And it only kind of gets better and better and better as you're making, more and more money there, through capital gains. Now, the other part of this too is not showing. It's very simple. This is like what you would be exposed to, from a liability standpoint. But then there's other things that you can do. I talk about in the book. We talk about in our club. You could do, as depending on the deal that you invest in, there might be what are called cost segregation studies, which would allow you to pay potentially less in taxes on any money that you earn. And they do that by creating a paper loss. Now, there will be a time where you'll have to kind of pay taxes on those losses. Later on down the road is a more deeper subject. But for the sake of discussion and kind of comparing the two, you've got a lot more flexibility than you otherwise would have if you didn't earn income through capital gains, and we're still earning income this way, right? The kind of old-fashioned way of earning active or ordinary income. So with that, I'm going to leave the floor open for any questions as I try to find the spot where the questions would be. And if you enjoyed this, you should be joining me every Thursday for Tech Sales Thursdays. Today is Wednesday. I understand that. I talked about the beginning of it. But I'll go live again tomorrow, which will be January 9th. And then I guess moving forward, I'll be live 12:30 to 1 o'clock Eastern time every week. And you can come and ask me questions about whatever we're talking about. And you have a chance of getting some really cool swag that I give away. In this case, if you are listening or you've listened to the recorded version, the key number here is DMing me with the word "So Rich You Can Quit January," or Jan is fine too if you're lazy. And I will send you a link to grab an Audible version on Spotify. I guess I should say it's a Spotify audiobook. It's probably more appropriate or accurate. That you can consume my book if you like listening to the book. If you don't like listening to the book, that's fine too. Just DM me, let me know, and I'll give you a link to get a free copy. Just cover shipping and handling, and I will pay for the cost of the book, and it'll change your life. And I've got evidence of that. I've got a couple of club members that have provided some testimonial for me that shared that joining the club has been really the best thing since sliced bread for their family. If you don't believe me, you can reach out to Jason, and I think I'll be posting some more testimonials from him. He's been great. So yeah, let's see if we have any questions coming in. All right. So one question I see is, I got a minute left here. JP, what is the minimum investment that you work with investors? It's a good question. It's a common question that I get. It sort of depends on each deal. So what we do is we package deals together from best-in-class sponsors that we work with. These are groups that we go out through our network and screen and vet and try to find the best people that have the best track records. And generally, we're looking between $50,000 and $100,000, depending on the deal. Some deals, there's a smaller allocation, and we're able to take on some more investors. Other deals, it's a bigger allocation, so we're able to kind of take on more. So it changes, but to answer the question, it's usually between $50,000 and $100,000. There's been some instances and some deals that we've done for our club members that get access to our pre-screen and pre-vetted deals, where they've gotten started with as little as $25,000. It's not always the case. I don't like setting the stage that you can come in for 25K, but usually it's 50 grand to 100 grand is sort of the range. And of course, the more money that you put into a deal, the more you're putting your money to work for you, right? Better than what you get at the savings account and maybe what you're playing with in the stock market. So with that, top of the hour, want to be respectful of your time and my time because I got a lot of things to do. But I really enjoyed doing this live stream, and I can't wait to do it again tomorrow for Tech Sales Thursdays. So if you have any questions from this, just DM me and I'll bring it up to talk about during the next one. See you soon. Cheers. Wait, and now we stop.